Hey everybody, today I'm going to be doing a review on the new BareMinerals BareSkin foundation. It's their Pure Brightening Serum foundation with broad spectrum coverage, SPF of 20, and it's actually really exciting because this is BareMinerals' first, that I know of, liquid foundation. It's different than anything I've ever seen from them, and also the ingredients are very, very minimal, and the sunscreen is titanium dioxide, so don't have a bunch of different chemical sunscreens and a bunch of different ingredients. There's no parabens, there's no oil, no water, no fragrance or anything like that to worry about. The shade that I picked up is in Bare Ivory. It does say you need to shake it up really well, so I'm going to start out by doing that. One thing that I'm noticing about this foundation is it looks really, really small, but in reality it is 1 fluid ounce, which is just a typical foundation size. And since it doesn't have water or anything like that in it, I'm actually thinking that it might be better because you only use like a few drops. Like the little applicator looks like this. It's kind of like if you were to use an airbrush foundation system where you just drop the product in. It looks exactly like that. It's kind of interesting. I like that it's small. It seems like it would be good for travel. I'm also going to be applying this today with the Perfecting Face Brush. This one's kind of unique. It's specifically meant to go with this foundation, which is why I'm using it today with it. It's still in the packaging, so I'm going to try to take this off. It's off. So it's kind of an interesting brush because it's like a kabuki type brush. It's pretty dense, but then it has this little well inside of it, kind of like a cup. So there's bristles inside, and then the bristles are kind of like bigger on the outside. I don't know if I'm explaining it very well. Close-ups and in pictures, I think you can see it the best, but you're basically supposed to take your foundation, put 1 to, I think, 6 drops in here. I know that the site said if you have fine lines or wrinkles to start out with just 1 little spot and then see how the coverage goes from there. I think what I'm going to do is just put 1 little spot, and then I'm going to go ahead and start from here and try to blend it out in my face, and then we'll see how the coverage goes there, if I can move it to the rest of my face or if I want to just do 2 overall. I do like kind of more of like a medium type coverage, so we'll see how that goes. I don't think I mentioned it also, but there are 20 different shades with this specific foundation, which is actually really, really impressive. So I'm just going to shake it one more time and we're going to get started. Just going to go ahead and add, hopefully, 1 drop. That was pretty easy actually. It's a pretty teeny tiny drop, so I'm just going to start right where I have a little bit more redness, kind of in my nose cheek area, and buff this in. Lately I've been really interested in using primers, but since this is my first time ever using this foundation, I really wanted to just see what it could do on its own, and then maybe I'll do a full-on review after I've been able to use it for a couple weeks and use it with a primer, and then I'll let you guys know what I think of it. It really doesn't feel like I'm putting anything on. So it's very, very light coverage thus far with just the 1 drop. I'm going to go ahead and add another 1 drop, and then I'm going to do it the same on this side of my face and just see how it does. It is clinging a little bit to some of my dry patches, but it's not like extremely noticeable or anything. Alright, so I've got this side of my face done, 2 drops in total, and then this side is just bare with my moisturizer. And I can definitely see a big difference. I think here it just looks really, really natural, but more flawless. And then over here I can see more of my like kind of freckles and some of my uneven skin and a little bit more redness. So I like the look of this thus far. I think you could easily make this look cakey. Like it would really cling to dry patches if you weren't careful and if you put like a bunch of drops and put it everywhere. But I think the 2 drop might actually be perfect for me. So I'm just going to do 2 more drops on here and do the other side of my face. I'm going to take 1 more drop and just put it on the back of my hand. I want to do a little bit of kind of like concealing with this. So I just have a little bit on the back of my hand, and I'm going to do a little bit under my eyes. And I've got a little pigmentation there, blemish over here, and just kind of buff those out. there you have it. There is my first ever time using the BareMinerals new BareSkin foundation and the brush. I'm going to check back in a few hours and let you guys know how it's wearing. Like I said, I do tend to have more dry skin, so we'll see if it makes me look oily. And also, I'm wondering if it's going to settle, because I see it a little bit collecting around my nose and kind of like the dry patches right here, but we'll see how it looks in like a few hours. The brush thus far, I think it's nice. I don't know that it's specifically anything special, like how it would compare to my Tarte brush that I really like. I think it's good to have a nice stippling brush or a really nice soft brush that you like for applying foundation, but I don't know if there's anything really amazing specifically about this brush. So that's my thoughts on the brush so far, and I'm really liking this. I think this thing would last forever too. This is gonna last you a long time, only using like 4 or 5 drops. It would last forever. All right, I'll check with you guys in a few hours. Hey guys, it has been a good 2, almost 3 hours since I put on this foundation. And I have to say that it does look nice. I do notice I am a little bit shiny on the top of my forehead, which is not really something, I mean, I don't normally get shiny. I didn't set this with a powder or anything. They do say that you can set it with like a mineral veil. Honestly, I'm really curious though to try this with a primer, and I know I wanted to do this first impression without, but I should almost do a separate first impression with primer, because I think your results can be totally different with or without. Oh, and I am noticing it, like I mentioned, that it kind of was clinging a little bit to dry patches. I do see it around my nose, kind of clinging to some of those. I'll give you a close-up so you can see what I'm talking about. I know this is super close up, but around my nose, I don't know how well you guys will be able to pick it up, but around my nose right here, I'm seeing it settling kind of in the pores and dry patches, and then over here, and then my forehead as well is a little bit more oily. But that's a little bit annoying because I don't want to be able to see, you know, patches, and especially it settling. If I kind of rub it with my finger, yeah, it's not really moving. Like, it's just kind of clinging in there and looking a little bit white. Yeah, and I do look pretty shiny on my forehead, which is not normal for me. So I think being a dry skin person, it's not horrible. I mean, I can deal with being a little shiny. You could just blot or use a little powder or try it with the primer, but yeah, I will let you guys know what I thought of it at the end of the day. Hey guys, I am back. It has been in total about 7 hours that I've been wearing this foundation. Wanted to give you guys my final thoughts. I've had enough time to wear it and see how it's looking throughout the day, and I think I have a pretty good feel for how it is without a primer. I am noticing that I am pretty shiny up here. I don't think it looks like super bad. Like, I don't think someone would say, man, your face is looking oily. But I do notice definite shine, and I would definitely blot it. Just mainly my forehead, maybe slightly my chin. Also, even though it's oily, which is weird, I do notice that it is clinging to rough patches. So typically with their powder, mineral powder foundation from BareMinerals, I'll wear a primer, and then I'll use the powder just on days that I'm having like not a ton of dry patches. But I'm kind of noticing the same thing with this foundation. Like, I probably would only wear this on days that I have fairly good skin. Like, I wouldn't wear it if I had a ton of dry patches going on. I would still wear it today, even though I have a few dry patches and it did cling. I'm still comfortable with how it looks. I just am really super curious to try it with a primer, because I think the primer just makes my dry skin like not as clingy, if that makes sense. So let me know if you guys want to see a first impressions video with primer, and we can kind of compare, because I think that would be interesting, and I'm going to do it anyway, you know, to wear it. And I'm wondering if that would affect like the shine too, the shine factor. I would give this foundation a pretty good rating. I do like it. I am excited to try it again and wear it again. I like that it looks very natural, and I'm happy with it. So let me know what you guys have thought if you've tried it down in the comments below, and I will see y'all again for another video. Bye guys!